Lost contact. Okay. Hello, guys. Let me start this over. That was weird. And all of a sudden, I like to come on here and I like to record things and archive them so that when people contact me with certain questions, or either, I can link, I want to start linking informational videos on the website so that people can get information that they need. That way, I'm not needing to explain it and break it down to people. So this one is going to be about why just getting a reversal or even breaking a curse or a hex does not fix everything. Okay. Um, and so usually when you have either a person that's practicing witchcraft, and this can be even done through the church, um, or either religion, because religions do have curses. People can put Bible curses on you, people can put evil eye curses on you, which I think is kind of related to um was it Islam or something, something to do with that. And so just getting a reversal doesn't fix things. So I'm going to give you guys an example. First, well, you know what? Let's start with this. Okay. If somebody were to actually be able to curse you, which people, when they are cursed or crossed, they usually know it. They typically have a lot of bad luck. They have a lot of anxiety. You're gonna, just really feel like you're in the twilight zone. It kind of feels like it's some sort of alternative reality. You know what I'm saying? And, this is usually people's first step outside of the matrix. To be honest with you, a lot of people that are under the indoctrination of religion, in my opinion, that is the matrix. In my opinion, religion is the matrix, or either it can create the matrix. A curse is really a blessing because it wakes you up. It does. It wakes you the hell up. And it wakes you up and it opens the door to spirit, which is your opportunity to progress in life. This is the reason why it is a fact that when people go to college, specifically, curses end up manifesting when they go away to college. It's something that usually happens. It doesn't always have to come in even through another person, it can come in through either the ancestors or either God or the gods, whatever you think of that as. So, really, in reality, a curse is a blessing in hindsight, because what it does is it teaches you. Okay. So, but I think it depends on how you deal with it. Every bad thing can be transmuted in your life. Bad things that are happening can be transmuted. It can be transformed into good. It can be turned back around. Okay. I want to start this off by saying that. But if you have either a coven, a lot of you guys are talking about secret societies, which to me, eh, they only have the power that you give them. Okay. But, or either a witch that has it out for you, somebody that's practicing. Okay. Just reversing the curse doesn't put everything back into perspective. It doesn't always do that. You'll see improvements, but like, let me give you an example. If somebody curses your marriage, okay, let's say somebody does like a destruction breakup work on your marriage, and you know, you do a reversal. Okay. And y'all were on the edge of breaking up, but then you didn't actually break up. Okay. Still doesn't mean that you don't have to work on reuniting the situation, because what ends up happening is that curses will create voids in your life. It's like a void. It's like when you were familiar with a person, now all of a sudden it's very unfamiliar and you have to try to reconnect the energies, and that can be really hard, which is why it's always a good idea to protect the relationship to begin with. It's a good idea to do that, because once you deal with that kind of energy, things can get lost. So that's why a lot of you guys will do a reversal and you'll do love work, but then it doesn't feel the same. It's not the same for some reason. It feels different. And then especially if it's a long-term situation where you're being targeted by either that person's ex or something like that, then what will end up happening is you'll constantly be bombarded with these energies. And most of you guys are not protected from witchcraft. You're not protected from it. Okay. Or let me give you another example. If somebody does some kind of Bible curse on you, and please believe that people that are doing things like this randomly, eventually they're going to get their karma. Eventually. Okay. They always do, because you just don't go around randomly doing things, and people are randomly doing things, right? But let's say that they do something to make you lose your job or lose business. After you do that reversal, more than likely you're either going to have to do something to fix the situation at the job, or if you've lost your job, you're going to need to do something to obtain a new job. Otherwise, you'll just be waiting around forever. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why rarely do people, or even do I allow it for people to just come to me and get a reversal. No. People are you the thing of it is that avoiding it doesn't fix it. Witches like myself that are willing to remove this stuff from you, we are not to blame. Okay, we didn't create that. Whoever doesn't like you, whoever wanted to get back at you, they are the ones that went to somebody, or either they created that situation. Okay, so you have to understand that once they knock things out of alignment, you have to put it back in alignment. So, this is the reason why you can't just go somewhere and think, oh, fix my life for a cool $500, and that's going to make everything right. No, it's not. And I understand that with the economy, it's become more and more difficult. This is the reason why I try to accommodate and help as many people as possible, because I'm not the type of person that is going to abandon you in your darkest hour. I am not that type of person. I stand by my convictions, because I've been in the dark before, and I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. So you got to understand that it is out of the kindness of my heart why I even do this in the first place. And I'm always blessed for it. Always. So I ain't scared of no secret society, no coven, or none of that. Right? So this is why I'm able to do what I do. Okay. But the thing of it is that If you are not going to be able to get everything done that you need done, then it's important for you to have some kind of connection with your ancestors. A lot of you guys' ancestors are being blocked out. They're being blocked out, they're being put away so that you can be a sitting duck. And you have to tap back in to reality when it comes to that, because a lot of you guys, what will end up happening is that you will become totally subservient to that energy. And it's almost like everything is a dream. And then things become unreal. And then you don't actually realize, hey, you've got to wake up, because that's a part of cursing a person, is messing with their head, putting blinders on them so that they can't see what's going on. Now, as far as with your relationships, as far as curses on your relationships, you guys pick and choose if you want to continue with that relationship. Because if somebody is manipulating any close relationship with you outside of your children, you have the option to walk away. And if your children are grown, actually, you have the option of walking away from your children too, obviously, right? I wouldn't do that, because but sometimes it's too much to handle, especially if your child is being, just impossible to deal with. And if they're grown, it's like, okay, you go your way and we'll talk later. But as far as like these love relationships, sometimes you have to decide if it's even worth staying in that relationship. You still have to reverse it. I would recommend, if you have had anybody throw a curse at you, which is bad energy, bad juju, to break up your relationship, it's important for you to reverse it still. Okay? Whether or not you plan on getting back with that person or not. If a person in your life responds to a curse by beating you, stealing from you, lying on you, doing things that are detrimental to your life, then more than likely reverse it, but then do some self love work. And self love work is not, it doesn't mean that anybody is accusing you of not loving yourself. No, it's all about self care. Because, really, to be honest with you, that is a sign to me that whoever you're dealing with has like negative feelings about you deep down. A person shouldn't be able to just light a black candle or a back to back separation candle, and just the person is calling you bitches. And, that, like, it's probably a good idea for you to walk away from that person anyway, because a man is not a necessity, he's an option. And sometimes you have to take care of self. So you have to decide during that temporary time frame that you're either in between relationships, you have to say, you know what, this is priority. And you have to make what a priority is a priority. And if at any moment that man becomes a weapon of destruction against you, to where they go off into whatever it is, and they are revering in that bad energy, probably need to walk away from that person anyway. Now, a lot of y'all will say, well, I love him. Hey, that's understandable. But you have to really, really, really love yourself. Okay. So, a lot of people, when they break up with somebody, which is the result of the breakup work, they'll say, oh, I don't want that person back. If you are of sound mind, body, and spirit, and you've made a decision to where you have long term went through ups and downs with this person, and you're thinking, okay, whatever it is, this person is not strong enough, especially if you're dealing with somebody's sister or somebody's mama, or either they friends, because a lot of these men, they do work to break people up. And if that person isn't sound enough to not just go along with it, then you have to make a decision. Okay, this is bringing instability into my life, and I need to walk away from this person. You're already being targeted. They're probably being targeted as well. Okay, time to walk away, because clearly, we can't work together to deal with this situation. And it's just one of those practical things. Okay. We all know about family bloodline curses. If a man is going out of his way to do harm to you because he's embracing those energies, then you have to say, I'm done with this. And you can't give up your life over a man, even your twin flame. If your twin flame or your soulmate or your husband is weak enough, or they just go all off into that energy, that ain't gonna jive with you. Sometimes you got to walk away. So I wanted to throw that in there too, because you know you can love somebody and run into people that are very crafty at manipulating and breaking people up. But at the end of the day, if the two of you are not able to keep yourself grounded with each other, and if that bond is so easy to break, then the relationship within itself is weak, and it's probably a good idea to go ahead and break that bond completely, whatever bond there is. Okay, seriously, especially a lot of you ladies that live alone, or either, he don't pay no bills anyway, and he's not paying them consistently. Okay, and for me, I'm the type of woman to where even I'm not gonna be in no situation with no man where he's taking care of me and paying all my bills. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'd rather take care of myself, and it's just that's just how I am. I don't even want to hear it, because I don't want to be at the mercy of anybody. I don't think so. Okay, we can sit up here and try to pretend like that's a traditional relationship, but in reality, even throughout history, that sort of thing has been created for a lot of you women, to where it's like, oh, you're going to do bad without a man. Okay, so a lot of the times when you guys are dealing with a man like that, you end up cursing him and having to bind him because he's stuck on stupid. And I don't ever advise you to be sitting up here holding on to a man that ain't nothing but an obstacle to your life. If he just goes along with it, you got to get out and save yourself. Okay, seriously, because that, I mean, the fact that a breakup spell worked anyway, that nobody should be able to break you up with somebody. That's very different than if you're manipulating somebody's job, right? That's very different. If somebody was able to light a black candle and come to you and say, hey, I don't think that your partner loves you, and your partner goes, yeah, you're right, it ain't meant for you to be with that person anyway. So I'm not even going to be doing that. I at my business, at my practice, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not. I can teach you, you can become an apprentice, If you want to sit and go back and forth over this man, then you can. Otherwise, Jamila is staying out of it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not. Okay. Because it just, to me, to me, I think that, um, you know, it causes more problems. It does. In fact, if men are not on point, they are a problem. So I don't, yeah, no, not doing it. I'm not. And I don't want to even be involved with that. Of course I can do readings, I can give you advice on what you can, if that man chooses to hold on to that energy, you know, it is just, there's nothing that you can do about it. If that's what, if that's what he wants to hold on to, then you need to walk away and say, you know what, that's fine, I'm done anyway, and pick up the pieces of your life. And you can pick up the pieces of your life really quickly. A man, a man anyway, that thinks that if he walks away from you, it's going to destroy you. You don't need to be with a man like that anyway. Because some of these men run around here with the attitude as if, oh, if I walk away from her, her life is going to be destroyed. And men like that get cursed, and they deserve it. Okay. And that's why I said sometimes a curse is a blessing, especially if it's a breakup curse, because that person didn't deserve you anyway. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not sorry about saying that. Okay. If a man can't take responsibility, gotta walk away. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of struggle in your life if you continue to hold on to somebody like that. Okay. Get you some cat's claw bark and walk away. Okay. Especially when, because somebody was saying to me last week, well, what if somebody's under possession? That's their problem. If a man is under possession, if he's under possession, that's his problem. Yeah, you probably do need to protect yourself from a man that's going through that. I personally, for me as a witch, I'm gonna look at him side eyed anyway, because, how dare you act like another woman's magic is stronger than mine? You gotta go. You gotta go. Bye. Okay, so that's a sign. That's a sign of the times that it needs to be over anyway. Anytime a man is surrendering to anything that is outside of you, mm-mm, you gotta go, because that ain't gonna do you no good. It ain't gonna do nothing but lead you to heartache, problems, and the problems and the issues that he wants you to have. Okay, so a lot of you guys, what will end up happening is that when you have these breakups, now you got this man running around here talking about you behind your back, plotting against you, and a lot of men just ain't strong enough. They not. So, I can't. Okay. And don't, most of us women don't want a man that we have to puppeteer. Nobody wants Pinocchio. People want real men. So, yeah, no. Okay. But as far as things like your residence, your job, things of that nature, those are things that you can help. Okay. A person that is willfully blind, let that go. Because he ain't going to do nothing but create more obstacles, which a lot of women know that, which is why when that happens, they will reverse it. He's still acting crazy, right? And I just recently got um um one of my clients confirmed that it was actually a reversal that I did. I had to do a reversal because somebody had done breakup work on them. And then I did a reunion. And they just recently got back together. I think it took like maybe about 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 months. And I haven't gotten an update from her since then, but they're slowly, and then another thing that you have to be aware of is that, when you've been through that, it's going to start the relationship from the beginning, right? So then that's when you have to use things like Damiana, Chasteberry, you know what I'm saying? Another one is going to be herbs, like bay leaves and yarrow flower, so that you can catch things back up to where they were. Because otherwise, it's almost like you just met that person. That's the feeling that you'll get. It's like you have to get reacquainted with that person, which can be very difficult because at that point the separation is already there, and then now you have to reconnect with each other, and that's literally what I do, is reconnect you. It does involve, using my gifts of telekinesis to pull that person back towards you. However, if they are not, if it's, if love is lost, it's just lost. Sometimes you just, you can't get it back. Sometimes and sometimes, especially even when it's a negative situation, outside influences, you'll feel like the love died, is dead. You can't get it back. It's over. Too much water under the bridge. We got to go. Okay. And so, but I have had success even in my own life. But when you got to do work on a man constantly, yeah, now to me, that lets me know that apparently this is not meant for me. Okay. If you're constantly having to convince somebody, or you constantly going through this thing to where you have to convince them that you care about them and you got to prove yourself, I ain't proving nothing. Because really, to be honest with you, as a woman, giving your body and your time to a man should be enough. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops. But being that we have like the sex industry and weird stuff like that, they don't know the difference. That's their problem. That's their problem if they don't know the difference. Because, as a woman, a lot of us, the way that we look at it is we're like, I had sex with you. How do I know you really love me? I gave you my body. I gave you my time. Hey, Jen. So a lot of these men are already kind of messed up in the head. A lot of them already are messed up in the head when it comes to that. Okay. Especially if he's older. If for some reason, older men have been just the worst cases that I've ever seen. But then again, if he's too young and dumb, you know, that can be a problem as well. So that I wanted to come and talk to y'all about that. So you can reverse a love relationship hex, and you can do a reunion. Um, I'd say be careful with that, because I feel like if you're constantly having to boost a love jar a year or two into having it, that maybe that relationship is spiritually draining as well, and you need to walk away. Okay. That's too much. I'm not, all that back and forth, and red candle here and a red, no. Just let her have him. Let her have him, let it have him. If it's an entity, let it have him. Whatever. you know because I'm sorry, especially when you look at the real world, which we live in a world of witchcraft. When you look at that, that's the real world. The other world that's been created and man-made is the matrix. Okay. And if a man wants to live in the matrix, let him. Let the matrix have him. Because a lot of people will look at it romantically. Oh, Trinity is going to save Neo. Listen, uh that's a movie. Okay, now we can compare it to, give you an example to help you make the connection what I'm talking about. But in real life, nobody can be Neo's Trinity. Nobody can be Neo's Trinity. No one that has time to jump through hoops and constantly travel into other realms of time and existence to continuously save this man. Okay, it just no. That's a movie. You will wear yourself out. No. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm yeah, Even though it works, but it just is too much, and then men are fighting over other men. Men are actually selling men and women and children, selling souls and stuff. So you're fighting a man a lot of the times, a crooked man. You're fighting with him over this man that you love. After a while, what you'll notice is that your resources will become scarce and it's time to walk away. I personally ain't gonna fight for nobody like that except for my children that I gave birth to. Otherwise, this is a grown man you talking about. He needs to learn. He needs to learn. This is why I already told y'all I can't be dealing with no Christian man. I can't be dealing with that. That nah, not at this stage of my life. I can't deal with no man that's in the matrix. Okay. So, and that's part of the reasons why it'll take love reunion spells longer to work. It's because he's fighting and he's resisting that. A lot of people are resisting nature anyway. They are resistant to things anyway. Okay. So, that's where that comes from. It's that self-destructive energy and the current agenda that we got going on right now. Okay, which I don't see it getting any better until we get into like the 22nd century, and a lot of us will be long gone, reincarnated several times before that. And, unfortunately, in this reality that we're living in with so much narcissism and, so much denial, it's very, very difficult. Okay. And the moment that a man starts to create financial instability, he got to go. I'm not going to be doing work and working on these men that have these entities and demons of poverty, vagabond demons. No, no, I'm not going to be touching your men with a 10-foot pole if they have that stuff on them because they're in denial about it, and we don't have time for that. In fact, a lot of them that want to remain blind and sleep, they just gonna be left behind. Nobody, we don't have time for that. And that's what's getting ready to happen. Okay. And it's it is what it is. So I'm being careful as far as the cases that I take. Um Now when it comes to these covens and stuff, what you're dealing with is a very serious situation. Your issue is not going to be resolved for $100 holla. No, it's not. Okay. In fact, what a lot of these covens are out here doing is they're trying to completely destroy your life. And I don't understand why they're doing that. I really don't. I don't think it's smart to do that. That's not what Coventry is supposed to be about. especially if nobody is threatening anybody in that coven, right? If that coven is not under a threat, nobody's attacking, then what is the issue? Why would you be doing that? Just, that to me, that's a mistake. But people do what they want to do. Okay. So, and I've been dealing with the coven that's been attacking me don't even make videos to me in social media. I've been dealing with coven attacks for years and have consistently survived it. So it's just one of those things, and I'm gonna keep surviving. And part of the reason why is because it's inevitable. Um, especially when it comes to looking at me and looking at them. Uh, Anytime the whatever coven this is gets scared when I'm erecting my coven, that's kind of ridiculous because technically I already have a spiritual coven. It's just not a physical coven. So I don't understand what would be the difference. And if they don't know the difference, then they're no match for me. If they don't know the difference between a physical coven and a spiritual coven, if they don't realize that just because a witch is solitary doesn't make her a sitting duck, if they don't understand it, more than likely they're not a match for me, especially. But a lot of you guys will be freaked out by it. And I don't understand why. It is possibly because they've put so much stuff out there on you to where they damn near got you under mind control. And then also they're blocking off your ancestors and they're blocking you from any kind of understanding and discernment on the situation. So this is why it's a good idea to work directly on you as you're going through this, and that's going to depend on it, because just because it's a coven doesn't mean that they're stronger than one person. That's a lie. Okay. All right, guys. I really wanted to say that real quick before I got to rambling. I will see y'all later. I hope that this helps you. Would you quit sneezing, Kitty? You always sneezing and making biscuits. She's over here sneezing and purring at the same time and making biscuits, Jen. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I will catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Okay. And if you don't have if you're not able to pay for the spiritual work that you need, then go to your ancestors. If you can't reach your ancestors, then you need to figure out how. Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Blessings. Bye bye.